So in this video, I'm going to be going in depth about how I created a $30,000 to $35,000 a month Instagram Reels funnel. This $30,000 to $35,000 a month came directly from Instagram short form content. And this video is going to be for creators that are selling some type of info product, and also clippers who want to get in the background of a system just like this and bring results for their own creators and their own clients. So we just pulled up at the place I'm gonna be working at for a bit. Back then when we made this short form funnel that was bringing us, $30,000 every single month from Instagram Reels, this was in 2022, 2023. Obviously the creator economy was already pretty big during that time, but it's only grown from then, right? So 2025 has only made it easier for you to replicate this process as a creator, or as a clipper, or somebody who wants to be behind the scenes. There are hundreds of new resources for you to use to make this process 100 times easier. So I'm gonna break down the whole story behind how we actually got up to the point where we were making this funnel and where we were getting the results to actually bring this type of money. And I want you to pay close attention to this story, whether you're a creator or whether you're a video editor or a clipper trying to get behind the scenes of one of these creators. Pay close attention to this story, because the same way that this whole process was set up from start to finish is the same way that you as a creator can get in contact with a fucking killer creative mind behind your funnel, or you as a clipper, you can really scale the fuck out of somebody's digital offer or their info product, whatever they're selling. You can scale the fuck out of it with the exact same way that I did it for this creator. So it starts when I was introduced to a creator that had about 100,000 followers on Instagram when I first met him, and we talked. I pitched him the simple idea of being a video editor behind his long form and short form videos. So I just told him I could help with the editing of his YouTube videos and his Reels. So that's how we first came in contact. I started doing some simple work with him, and the key here is that I actually brought results. Like for his YouTube videos, we had a video that blew up, got like 100,000 views in the first week. So I was actually bringing results when it came to his the creative process behind his whole business. I didn't even know really what he was selling yet. I just knew that I was editing his videos. That's all I was doing. My advice to a clipper or an editor is to understand what's going on in the background of your creator's business and understand the reason why they need your editing process so bad. Understand why they are paying you to edit their videos and why they need you so bad, because if you don't, you're just gonna be editing their videos, and yeah, you might bring some results, but in the end it's gonna fizzle off eventually because you're not involved in the process of actually growing their business hands-on. I mean, yes, you're editing their videos, but if you don't know what's going on in the background, you're just a video editor, and that's all you see yourself as. I want you to upgrade that mindset and understand that you are realistically the backbone of this creator's business as helping them with their content. So, and for creators, I want you to understand that when you're looking to hire video editors or clippers or whatever it may be, get them involved in the whole process. Show them the results that they're bringing because of their work, how their editing is helping with the business. Show them the numbers, be real with them, tell them exactly how good ass fucking content is gonna scale the business. Because like I said, if you're both on the same page and you both understand how important the video editing process is and the content distribution process is, you'll both be on the same page and you'll both be results driven, and your editor will want to get results just as bad as you. So I'm going to show you guys right here. So as you guys can see right here, this was the channel we were posting on, and we started to get good results. We would get 50,000, 100,000 views, and the content was honestly doing pretty good. So I didn't even know that this was going on, right? But I was editing the videos, they were getting views, and all those views were going straight to a calendar link where they could book a call with him, and he's gonna pitch them a $3,500 mentorship program. Everybody knows the creator economy is huge right now, but this is the meat of it. Just funneling the views to a solid offer, and people are making so much money off this that if you can help that process, they'll be willing to pay you a shit ton of money just for helping them get a couple extra views. And that's exactly what I was doing without knowing. I was bringing him hundreds of thousands, even millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of views. I think in the total of working with him, I brought him 105 million views. Now imagine how much of those views converted into a sale for his coaching program, because I know how much did. So as I was editing his long form videos, we realized that we need to redistribute that content, right? If you have a bunch of YouTube videos just sitting on YouTube doing nothing else, literally just sitting on YouTube, you're wasting so much potential to get more views. Because honestly, like, even if a video blows up on YouTube, it's gonna blow up on shorts. Like, if you just take all those snippets of the YouTube video and redistribute it as short form content, there's no reason not to do this. So, you know, all of his YouTube videos that he had stacked up over the past couple years, and all the ones that we were doing in that same year, and I just started going in there, you know, I would literally watch through the whole YouTube video, and as I'm playing it, just put a marker every single time, you know, something even semi-clippable happened. And then at the end of watching that whole video, I'd have a bunch of little clips. We were pumping out, I think, 3 clips per day on his main account, just spamming reels. And like I said, like, if we had been perfectionists and we had worried about every single little edit or every single little detail about every single little clip, we would not have been able to put out so much volume, and we would not have been able to get the results that we did. I went through all of his YouTube videos like 3 times and cut up clips and just added different captions, different styles. So we were literally recycling content. Like, we had a system to where you had your long form video, and then it was recycled once in one style of short form, then it was recycled again in a second style of short form, then it was recycled a third time in a third style of short form. That means that, you know, off of one YouTube video, you're not just getting, you know, 1 set of clips, you're getting 3 sets of clips off of one YouTube video. I want you to understand that, because again, like I said, those viral moments that really did good on short form, they didn't go viral just once on short form. They went viral 3 times. I had some videos, and I'm gonna show you examples here. I had some videos where we just changed a little bit of the styling, changed a little bit of the flow of the video, and it got back-to-back millions of views. And I want you guys to understand this, because like I said, whether you're a video editor or whether you're the creator, understand that you can repurpose all of this content over and over and over again. And if you have viral moments in your content, you can literally farm millions of views just by repurposing this content and recycling it. Obviously, don't just repost, but, you know, let your editor take his creative mind and figure out a way to like reorganize that clip and redistribute it again. Because like I said, we were getting like single moments of his YouTube videos that were getting back-to-back millions of views just because we were changing one little thing and posting it again. So now we're gonna get into how did this actually make money, right? We're posting, you know, 3 clips a day. We're going hard, and you know, this was about a 3-month session of just posting back-to-back 3 times a day, every single day. And I want to say we were getting about 3 to 4 million reach on Instagram. Honestly, I didn't really know what reach meant. It wasn't views. We were honestly getting like 10 million plus views every single month just on Instagram alone. I'm just going to talk about Instagram. Obviously, we were doing TikTok and YouTube as well, but Instagram is what really was converting. And I'm going to tell you guys the exact system that we used to convert all these views into dollars. But we were getting, you know, about 4 million in reach every single month from Instagram, tens of millions of views. Our caption CTAs were something as simple as, you know, comment store to start. And so many people were commenting. Like, it was like, I didn't understand. It was almost like they were bots. Like, they just wanted to comment, but they were real people. Every time somebody commented this, we didn't even have like an automated system for this. We were manually going into the DMs. This wasn't the best system, but it worked. We literally asked them, how much are you willing to invest? And, you know, how much inventory did you have? Because it was for sneaker, they were reselling products. So we would ask them, how much inventory do you have of a product? And how much are you willing to invest? And based off that information, we would have a huge list of, you know, exactly, you know, who's qualified for the group. And then we would send them directly to a calendar, and they would book a call with him. It made me realize that, you know, all this content, all this shit wasn't just to get followers. Like, this is literally resulting in a direct dollar return, right? And that's the crazy part, is that this system is so much easier to do today because there's so many automations that you can implement to make this seamless. Like, all you need is a killer fucking editor. You need a killer creative mind behind redistributing your content. And once you have that, you only need one person on that team. I know, like, the whole clipping thing is huge right now, but realistically, you don't need to have a whole clipping team. You can just have one killer creative mind that's, you know, able to redistribute all these pieces of content, throw it on, you know, all over your social medias, and just cook up all those views, cook up all those, you know, potential customers, and just start shooting them DMs. Like, that's really all it is. And this is what everybody's doing right now. Like, everybody's doing this. But back then it was a little harder back then, because like I said, there was less automations and there was less like systems that you can implement to make this super easy. But I mean, now it's just easy as fuck to do this. But so yeah, we were simply just taking, you know, people who commented from our CTAs in the caption, and we would just DM them. We would have them on a list of people who are interested in buying the program. We would send them to a calendar, and they would book a call with him there, and then his sales team would handle, you know, closing those sales. And so every single month, just from these Instagram reels, we were closing at least 10 people into the mentorship program for $3,500, resulting in, you know, $35,000 a month in closed deals just from Instagram Reels. When you have the system where you're just nurturing the customer, right? These people didn't just see one clip and automatically bought the program. These people have been seeing clips, you know, for weeks. Every single day, they're seeing 3 new clips pop up on their feed, and it's just nurturing them, right? They're saying like, okay, they're getting more personal with the creator. They're understanding who he is more. They're building trust with him. If you're scared to look imperfect on social media, you're never gonna make a return for it. You need to give people a reason to trust you, and the only reason they're gonna trust you is if they can see that you're willing to be imperfect in front of them. Our content was so real because it was content that had been like built up over the past couple of years of him just documenting his journey. And in his content, he was not posting any flashy cars. He was not posting any apartments. He was not fucking in Miami showing the view, talking about how your life can be like this after buying his mentorship program. He was not showing cars. He was not renting Lamborghinis, talking about his cars and talking about watches and all this shit. He literally did not post one single piece of content that was not related to his actual business. He was not posting cars. He was not posting his house. He was not posting his apartment. He was not posting his lifestyle. He was literally just posting about his business. Every single post was about his business. It never went off topic. And I think that people think that they have to like show off this flashy lifestyle to bring customers for their product. And I feel like that is the number one way to just hurt your community. Like, if you really want to nurture people, don't try to, you know, suck them into this lie of like, oh, you're gonna be able to live in a fucking penthouse in Miami after buying my mentorship program. That's happened maybe a couple times, but realistically, that's not even the goal. If you really want to like convert and have a long-term like cult like audience, you need to nurture them, and you need to like just show them real shit. Like, don't try to convince them to buy your program based on the cars you have and the watches that you have and the place that you live in. Sell them a mentorship based on what you know about your field. It's as simple as that. That's my advice after, you know, seeing this successful $100,000 plus Instagram Reels funnel. There's ways to do this right. You know, you don't have to be this scumbag course seller who's just showing them the cars, showing them the watches, showing them the lifestyle, and then selling them a $5,000 fucking program. You can be legit. If you know something, if you have value that you can give to others, provide that value in a genuine way. Like, tell them everything they need to know about what you're offering and nothing more. So just to recap, I mean, the most important key factors about, you know, building this funnel was, you know, first of all, like I said, having the creative mind, which in this case was me, behind all the content redistribution. I was on the fucking grind, bro. I was doing that shit all day. I was just editing videos, repurposing the content, and just posting all day. Number 2 is be a genuine person with something genuine to sell. And number 3 is to be able to close those deals. You know, you have to have some type of system to close those deals. I wasn't a part of that process, but I was funneling all those people to that process, and I know that he had a killer sales team because all these deals were being closed. So where we are in the creator economy in 2025, anybody can realistically do this if you have something valuable enough that people want to learn. So the purpose of this story is realistically to tell you that if you have something valuable that people actually want to learn, you have the power to be able to sell this right now. Like, people are willing to pay for information, and people are willing to pay for structure and organization in information. That's the main thing that people are paying for. They want you, first of all, to show them what you know through the content so that they can see it every single day on their own phone. It's their choice to see it. And then they want you to organize all that information in the course that you're selling to them. Like I said, whether you're if you're a creator, all you have to do is really lock in and like organize everything that you know about a certain topic, and then start your documenting journey. You know, start documenting everything. Give your creative mind a lot of shit to work with. And if you're an editor, if you want to be that creative mind behind a creator, then you, number one, need to really study social media, and you really need to study your creator's ICP. You need to understand who your creator is selling to, and how their brains work, and what they think while they're watching content, and what's going to actually, motivate them to buy something from content. But the goal for you as a creator, or for you as a creative mind, is to be paired up with somebody that will work with. If you're a creator and you're looking for a creative mind, this is probably going to be the most important part of your process of hiring people, or like building your team. Your creative mind behind who you are as a creator. You guys need to be like as one. You guys almost need to be married in this like perfect union of, first of all, somebody who has the information and who can make that content, and then somebody who just has the creative mind to be able to redistribute it and put it out there in an effective way and package it up nicely that people are going to accept it. So yeah, the real reason that these funnels work and that people are building these killer funnels that are actually converting and they're working is, like I said, because they found a way to mesh their creative mind with their business. The creator, meets the creative mind that they want to be behind their output of content and their content distribution. When you have these two people working on the same wavelength, that's where shit happens. And it's hard to find that. And that's the reason that a lot of people fail when it comes to trying to put out these info products, or even any digital product in general. They fail because they aren't able to find that creative mind that clicks with them perfectly. That's why I say this should be your biggest focus when you're first trying to do this, is that because if your creative mind is just not clicking with you, it's going to be so hard to grow. So if you're a creator, just be very cautious when bringing people onto your team, and when you're hearing all these pitches about what people can do for you in the content, in the whole content process, just understand that, if this person is not going to click fully with your business, then they're just trying to find another person to add to their retainers. They're just trying to get a paycheck. So just be very cautious when finding that creative mind. And as a video editor or a clipper or somebody who wants to help with that creative process, all I would have to say is be honest about who you are and the skills that you have. And when you do land these deals like I did with this creator, do your very best to deliver. This is not a regular job. This is not something that they're going to give you an outline to do. You need to come with all the information. If you're going to be behind this process, you need to have all the information. And if you don't have some piece of information, you need to be able to go and find it for yourself. Honestly, that was a yap session. I really just wanted to lay out this story and see if it brings value to any of your processes. But yeah, that's exactly how we built a $35,000 a month Instagram Reels funnel. It was all because of content repurposing and content distribution. That's all it was. Being able to take those long videos and find these key moments that are able to go viral and repurposing them up to 3 times is insane. And that's what it really takes to bring the results that you're looking for. So if you're scared to do that with your content, then that's just going to be something that you have to get over, honestly, if you want to get to those heights. But that's basically it, guys. If you're a creator who wants help in finding that creative mind that can help scale your info product or your digital product or just your brand in general, DM me and I'd love to try and help you with that process. And if you're somebody who's a video editor or a clipper who wants to get more involved with the business of helping other people make money through the creative process, then also feel free to DM me on Instagram. I have a free Discord where I talk, it's just a community of a bunch of like-minded people, a bunch of video editors, clippers who just want to get better at what they do. So if you want to join that free community, be sure to DM me on Instagram or just leave a comment and I'll be happy to get you in there. I don't know what I'm about to do now. It's a nice sunny Saturday and I'm over here working. But yeah, so we're just gonna sit here, probably knock out some work. That's it.